Welcome to Remote Reality. This is Lauren, and my messier right now is looking up what a purple aura means because I'm acting out and I'm getting in trouble. I'm laughing so hard that I'm turning purple. I think it means that my lighting is probably on the wrong setting, but it's all right. We're going to stick with it.
It says it's often associated with spirituality, intuition, and psychic abilities. It's one of the best and most entertaining HOHs I've seen in a while. The set is great.
All right, let's get in the sewer.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
So Zach's allergies, they all think he's crying, Mom.
Oh, I know. Get that Zyrtec out because he really needs something.
I've never seen allergies hit that hard. Yeah, they pointed it out. He was crying in the diary room. Zay getting evicted, that's a page out of the Rachel Reilly handbook. Come against the queen.
Absolutely.
Don't do it. Vince, he starts getting paranoid. He's got Kelly, but he knows some people turned on the vote.
Yeah, and then Keanu's trying to figure out who it is. And the only thing that came to my mind is loose lips sink ships. This guy is going out and just really putting a target on his back. It's almost like maybe he is the one who changed the vote and he's trying to put it on somebody else.
And that's what happens when Will approaches Keanu and says, I think it was Kelly. So Keanu then thinks it's Will. And then Kelly thinks it's Will. And then Will thinks it's Keanu because Keanu is talking. The target is everywhere but Reilly, who Reilly ends up being the one who flipped the vote. He told Amy that he was going to have her back because she's teamed up with Rachel. Reilly is really scared of Rachel.
Well, he is, but he also knows that she's a strong player and that she can protect him.
She read the Rachel Reilly handbook. He knows.
I know. Rachel Reilly Handbook 101, she called it.
101. Riley's read that thing. But it's funny because they show him, he goes, I'm not going to tell anybody. And then the next thing you know, he's telling Rachel, he's telling Ashley, he's letting everyone know. He's like, don't tell them. Don't let them know. Keanu goes right up to Reilly and asks, and Reilly says no. Adrian thinks that Keanu is being an idiot, just throwing names out there. Adrian's a smart player.
He is. And then he goes and he tells Will what Keanu said, that he's throwing Will's name out. And then Will goes to approach him.
And then he tries to hold Will back. I was like, go for it. Go tell Keanu. Zach, basically this whole burger is falling apart.
Right. Now we have a keto burger.
We do.
Because Zay the buns is gone. And Reilly, who was the barbecue sauce, he has gone over to the other side. So, yeah, keto burger.
It's a keto burger now. We almost had it last week, but yeah, Reilly has jumped on the girls' ship. Now, Ava, at one point, she's involved in the conversation because she's sitting with Adrian and I think it's Kelly. And they go to walk in to talk.
No, I think was it Will?
Well, Will was there.
Talking with Will, yeah.
Yeah, and Will gets up and says, let's go figure this out. I want to put it all out there on the table. So he goes and grabs Adrian. So when they go, she kind of follows them in there and she does this little, oh, wait, I'm not in this alliance. That was funny. But we go to commercial break with a mystery.
Yeah, there's safes that are opened.
Lights going on and off.
Yeah,
the Gerudo Thief is back. I told you he's the Gerudo Thief.
Okay,
I've been saying it the whole game. This is the guy from Zelda. He is the Gerudo Thief. He's done robbed the Big Brother house, took all the trust out of it, and we're only on Head of Household 2. This is going to be part of the HOH comp for sure. Speaking of Ava, she is not ready for this competition we're about to get into. She immediately says, can I opt out? I'm scared. We're going to the HOH. And not only is it the HOH, but there are 3 mystery powers at large here.
What I love is the way the set is set up. It looks just like a sewer. I think they did a great job.
How do you know what a sewer looks like?
I've seen it in movies.
You've seen other sets? No. Mama, are you a sewer rat?
Yes.
She really is Luigi. Which Amy, as she's crawling around, she said she felt like one of those Mario brothers going through these pipes. I was thinking Ninja Turtles, but yeah, that was funny. We like Mario. You're big stupid Luigi.
I am, and I love it.
She calls
That's
herself big stupid Luigi.
Because I'm always making mistakes.
Her Nintendo profile just says big stupid. So in this competition, they have to search for pieces in the dark sewer. You know, usually they have like all this honey and it's like gooey, which speaking of that, Rachel's dress at the beginning of this, it kind of looked like a chicken. It looked like she had been feathered with the white spots on it. But anyway, reminds me of these competitions in the past. But this one is just, it's water. It reminds me more of Star Wars where they're in the trash compactor.
Right. And, you know, I started thinking about the HOH from the last time where they had to smell the stinky stuff. Well, you know, CBS, all they had to do was pour all that stuff in the sewer to make it smell.
I was wondering how they did that. Ew. Ew. So the first person to win a power is Keanu. And then as soon as he wins it, he somehow knows exactly where Zach is and grabs Zach and then starts taking Zach around with him. I guess because you can't win 2 powers, so he figured he'd team up with them. We see Rachel find 2 keys and she hides one of them and takes the bigger one to go see if she can figure that out. And then Jimmy finds the right key and wins HOH and he screams as soon as he does. So everybody knows. Mickey finds that key that Rachel hid, the smaller one. And that turns out to be a power. Now, when she goes up to place it, Zach is standing beside her and he thinks he hears her voice. And then in the diary room, she goes, I need to be quiet. Nobody needs to know I won this. I guess after the fact, she needs to be quiet. And Kelly is channeling her inner sewer rat. And she finds some circle thing and she's walking in. She's bumping into everything. Jimmy is sitting down in the main room with Ava. Ava did sit this one out. Ava just parked it as soon as the competition started. She's afraid of the dark. I guess their auras weren't lighting up the room for her. But she sits down and Jimmy joins her. And then Jimmy helps Kelly put the power into the slot. But he said he did it so he knew who had the power. Because he got to feel it, he knows it's shaped like a veto. So he really just did it for the inside information.
Yeah, I thought that was very smart of him, you know, to figure out who had this. And the last thing he said when he went to commercial break was, my first job as head of household is to find out who has these powers.
Right. Or would it have been smarter, since he said of household and safe, for him to just knock the power out of her hand and tell someone else to go grab it?
No, but this is something that, look, this is what he could do, is put her up just to get that veto out of, if that's the veto, just get that out of the way. Then you don't have to worry about that anymore.
That's true.
But we don't know exactly what it is. It could be an advantage in the veto competition.
It could be that you get to pick a player for veto.
Right.
We don't know.
We just don't know.
Rachel's feeling safe, but Rachel, Big Brother 101, you don't feel safe. Jimmy, I don't know if I trust him. He's been kind of flippy-floppy.
He has been, but he has also been after the muscular guys.
That's true.
So, you know, they could have to watch out for him.
That's true. So we are back from the HOH competition. Jimmy and the girls are running around screaming. I completely forgot about this Heavy Hitters Alliance.
Oh, I did too. That's Morgan, Mickey, and Jimmy.
And Zach.
There's a lot of...
Morgan, Zach, Jimmy, Vince, Reilly, and Rachel are the heavy hitters. Because Zach
the heavy
says,
hitters.
I'm
That's right.
safe. And I was like, wait, he's in an alliance? It's only week 2.
Right. And the one I was thinking of was the Triple Threat Alliance. Which
I'd forgot about
Mickey,
that one too.
And Jimmy. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of alliances out there.
I think what we're seeing, though, is it's going to be the girls and Jimmy and the guys. And then Reilly. Riley's going to be over with the girls and Jimmy. I think that's how the house is shaping up. But Jimmy, he's on a mission.
He is. He's going around and threatening everybody, which I don't think is a very smart move, because all they have to do is keep quiet. They know that Jimmy's gunning for them. They know if they, tell one person that person could tell another person and then come back to Jimmy. So I don't know what he thinks. I don't know. I don't know what he
no
thinks
one's
he's
keeping
doing.
quiet either.
No, but the only one that told somebody, Mickey told Morgan, and that would be the only one that I would trust. I don't trust anybody else in their telling of who they told.
It's only week 2. And what if Morgan's butt is on the line when Mickey gets to use her power, which Mickey's power is the HOH interrogation. So she can dethrone the HOH, but the HOH gets to go and interrogate everyone for 3 minutes. And if they can decide who has the power, they get the throne back and they could put Mickey on the block. Otherwise, she takes over the HOH, which I'm guessing everybody finds out it was her then hiding the secret power.
Well, I think they all at one time would get revealed on who had what. But the thing is, Zach is doing the process of elimination. He already suspects 2 of the 3 powers.
Well, he knew because Mickey's voice was booming beside him before that one power was won, and the trash can or whatever it was went flying into the air. And then Keanu grabs him as soon as he wins the power and starts hand-holding him and walking him around. He probably knows it's Kelly, too, because I don't know how much of a secret it is to anyone that Kelly won it. Jimmy knows. He helped her right over to it.
Well, and then Keanu knows now, too, because she told Keanu.
She did. We're going to pull this ADHD train back onto the tracks. We already talked about Mickey's power, the HOH interrogation, where she gets to dethrone the HOH and have the HOH question everybody in the house. If they pick it, then they get to keep their power. If not, she becomes HOH. The next one, Keanu gets the mystery competitor. In this power, the former player from Big Brother, we don't know who it is, a mystery former player will come in and also play in the veto competition. And if Keanu wins or the former player wins, then he gets the veto. And then we have Kelly's power. So if she elects to use her power, it is a second veto power, meaning that a second veto competition will be played. She will play it. And if she wins it, she can use it to take herself or an ally off the block. Now, these powers do expire before the jury starts going into the house. So what do you think of Keanu's power?
Okay, so when he was talking about a former house guest, my mind automatically thought of the people who are playing this game. Like, if he played it this week, only Zay could compete. But then you would have more options when you get closer to the jury.
Mom, why would you want some person who've already lost their shot in this game coming to do veto? It's not
I know. Well, that was my first thought. But then he comments
that would be the worst power ever. Like, you weren't even good enough to save yourself, but come save me. What were you going to say?
You could go ahead and explain what Keanu thinks, which we think is pretty much what's going to happen. But
yeah. Well, he thinks it's going to be a former house guest. I was not expecting that. I thought that you had a favorite house guest for this, but he thinks it could be Cody from 22, Michael from 24, or Casey, who actually won Big Brother. Actually, Cody won Big Brother also, right?
I don't know if he won that season, but he may have.
He won one of his seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Casey from Big Brother 20.
However, yeah, you're right. I do have somebody in mind, but it's not who you think. I think the person
who would you pick, Mama C, if you got to pick? Because he doesn't get to pick. It's just somebody random. But who do you think?
Well, why don't you tell us who you would think? Because I want to tell you who I think CBS would pick.
I'm going to go with Janelle, because doesn't she have the competition, like the most vetoes ever?
Yes, she is a big competition beast.
I thought she had the most Janelle in Big Brother history.
Well, she may have, but she's my favorite player of all time. And I love her. And I would love to see her, but that's not who I thought CBS would pick. Think about somebody who is a big fan, who is very entertaining, whether you like him or not. And he won 8 competitions in a season, plus what they called the Big Brother. No, it was called the Battle of the Block in season 16.
Ian?
No, Frankie Grande.
Oh.
I think that Big Brother would pick him because he is so entertaining.
He's also more recent.
And so annoying. He was in Big Brother 16. That's a little further back.
Yeah, but it's not Big Brother 6.
That's true.
Well, it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see who comes back into the house for that. And then is hers kept a secret? Because if she gets, no, I guess she has to announce it at the veto meeting. So I guess they all will announce their power in front of the house guests.
Well, and hopefully they all do it after Jimmy has been thrown out of the house, because otherwise, if he ever makes HOH again, they'll be on the block.
Well, if he's still mad at them that week.
That's true.
So Keanu tells Kelly, and I think that's the only person he tells. And Kelly tells Keanu, but then Kelly goes and tells Jimmy that she told Keanu. And then Jimmy says, well, does Keanu have a power? And Kelly says no. But Jimmy is suspicious. He's not trusting this. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either.
They're going to think that she's the one that called the power if they do the interrogation before she does her power. Because she is suspicious.
Well, and I was thinking, if Mickey decides to use the interrogation head of household, that Morgan could be a little suspicious to draw the attention off of Mickey if people are coming toward Mickey, because they just need to guess it right. If they guess Morgan, then Mickey has it.
That's a good plan. That's a good plan, Mama. See, that is a good game.
Maybe I should be in the Big Brother house.
Maybe you should.
Maybe not, because I do have loose lips.
At the beginning of this, everybody thought Will was the one not telling the truth. And I don't remember what I was going to say, except he was the old guy. And you would be the old guy.
No, I'd be the old gal.
Me too. We'd both be the old. But you would be more like, what was that Marine's name? Jerry. Anyway, Jerry was season 10. This was the season that Dan Giesling won. And Mom, we watched a clip of it. She doesn't remember any of the people from that season.
Really, maybe you would be the Jerry Temper, but I wouldn't be.
He was 75 years old.
Okay, if somebody called me old, I'm like, you got that right, baby cakes, and I'm proud of it.
I'm old too.
I earned this gray hair.
Mine's coming. So Jimmy's trying to figure out his noms. He's got everyone in the HOH room. We know it's going to be Keanu. He's told us at the end of last week's veto that I'm gunning for Keanu. And they shut it right off.
I had forgotten all about that. So
got
yes,
that Jerry memory.
Definitely Keanu. Jimmy doesn't trust him at all, and he wants to flush out all of the powers.
So maybe we'll get to see his power this week. You know what's dangerous about flushing the powers is you don't know what these powers do. And it could just mess up your whole HOH week.
Did Kelly tell him what her power does? I'm surprised he hasn't asked.
He just knows it has to do with the veto because he felt it. But Jimmy wants a clean leave, so targeting people with powers isn't really that clean. Next, he talks to Adrian. He's like, I'm considering you, Lauren, and Reilly to go up. And Adrian's like, I would prefer not to. Look at what happened last week. It's smart for him not to trust Adrian, though. Adrian's kind of a floater, it feels like, right now.
He is. I don't even know. Is he in any kind of alliance?
Floaters grab a life vest. Well, he voted against Amy. He voted to evict Amy. But Adrian says there's bigger fish to fry. Who is he thinking? Like, he thinks Jimmy's going to go after Rachel? No.
Well, you know what? Again, this is like a weenie HOH. You don't want to get blood on your hands. Eventually, you're going to have to get blood on your hands.
Jimmy
but maybe it's still too early.
In a freaking murder room with blood off every angle the way he's been playing, and he's worried about blood on his hands. He's dripping with blood already. He's been stirring the pot. He's winning. The way he's gunning for people. I don't know why he's worried about playing a clean game. Just get the bleach out. Start cleaning up. Now, Zach, he's got his fingers on the pulse. And he tells a whole room full of people, including Rachel and Jimmy, they're in the HOH room, that Keanu pulled him aside after the first power was run and started helping him. And he wouldn't have done that if he hadn't have just won a power. And Rachel goes, you're right. So I think they all know that Keanu has a power. Is that going to spell about Mickey to anybody except for Morgan? And Morgan and Mickey are like that. I think that's going to be a final too. I think they have a real alliance.
Yeah, and they trust each other, and I trust them too.
I do
Of all
too.
of them, they're not going around and talking about each other or whatever. They're sticking together.
Morgan was my pick. Morgan
That's
and
right.
Lauren. Now, Lauren and Zach are playing it pretty cool. They're not putting big targets on their back. So we go to the nomination ceremony. Don't you like the way that they do nominations so much better than the old way? Where they used to have that huge circle and they pull out every single key that was safe.
Yeah, that was a lot of filler time. I'm glad they cut to the chase now and we can get more
drama. Although sometimes they would strategically have one person pull another person's key to say that they were safe. Either like someone that they hated, they would pull their safe key, or I think when they had the mystery partners, they had the partners pull each other's keys. Anyway, so we're putting up Kelly, Adrian, and Keanu. Kelly, because she has that veto power, and she's put herself up on the block again.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think that was a smart move last week, because once everybody knows that you're on the block and you're safe, then they're going to keep putting you up as a pawn, because they're going to keep thinking, well, she's a safe person to put up there.
And she
doesn't mind. Yeah.
But next week she won't have that extra. Well, she might have that extra veto in her pocket.
What I love.
If Keanu,
go
ahead.
What I love is Jimmy had these black gloves on. It was like he was like the criminal. He doesn't want to get his hands dirty. And all I could think of, and I don't know how, I haven't figured this out yet, how it could be an analogy, but all I could think of was, if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit.
Oh, no.
I don't know. If I figured it out, you know.
Well, I guess we'll find out when it comes to veto nominations. Now, Adrian, he put up as a pawn. Adrian's worried. I'm not worried about Adrian. I don't think he is. He's likable. I don't think Dallas is sending him home.
Mm-mm.
He's going to be the least of the targets. And then Keanu. So he just puts on his sunglasses and pretends to sleep while Jimmy's talking. But Jimmy, she's a queen. Jimmy's entertaining. Do you want to tell them what Jimmy says about the toilet being jealous?
No, because then I'd have to use a word that's not G-rated.
Okay, well, I tried to get Mama C to use a dirty dirt. And he said, Jimmy said, Keanu, you are so full of shit that even the toilet is jealous. Which Keanu was shooting straight last week. Jimmy's the one that did this stuff first. But then Keanu says, I'm beheading the snake, and it's you, Jimmy. What's with all the beheading? I mean, I get the queen beheading, but beheading a snake? Is that what you would call it?
Well,
beheading?
you say you cut the head off the snake.
Right, but not beheading. Anyway.
Well, really, because where's the neck of the snake? I mean, if you cut him in the middle, wouldn't that still be beheading? I don't know. I'm not a science major.
Something to think about, channel surfers. All right. Well, I hope we get to see Keanu use his power. I'm excited to see another old house guest come in and who it is. Although
I know,
hope
I'm
they
very
lose.
excited at that. Oh, exactly.
I don't know. Keanu, he's stirring up a lot of drama. Jimmy's stirring up a lot of drama. But then again, if we get rid of him, it might be boring. So,
well, exactly. I mean, you were showing the clip of an old clip with Jerry in it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so much drama. But we were laughing through it. So, yeah, you need a little bit of drama.
Showed her a clip from BB10 to show her BB doppelganger. All right, channel surfers. Well, thank you for tuning in to this week's recap of Big Brother. Well, not this week, because we will be back on Thursday and Friday with our recaps for the veto competition
have already taken place, and I haven't looked at Morty's, so I'm good.
Morty's either. Tomorrow, Dee and I will be here with 90 Day Fiance Hunt for Love. I'm so excited. I love that show. But don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, let your friends know about it. All of that stuff really helps, and we really appreciate anything you're doing to help Remit Reality in the algorithms. We will see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching or listening on the podcast. See you later. Bye, Channel Surfers.